Let's watch another CNN panel, this time breaking down how Trump essentially is doing imperialism. Maybe as a gaffe, he's doing it for the jokes, and Meg is cheering this on, despite previously pretending to be fervently anti-imperialism whenever Joe Biden was in office, because apparently to them, NATO is imperialism, but Trump wanting to buy sovereign countries isn't.
In fact, the last time a country peacefully acquired another country was in 1853 in the Gadsden Purchase, when we purchased territory from Mexico, and the peacefully part is negotiable. Because usually we don't go around peacefully acquiring sovereign countries, including and especially giant ones like Canada that are doing just fine without us. So
are they? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how well they're doing. They're throwing out their prime minister. And I don't know if they're doing well or not.
Well, you think they need Trump to buy them?
Acquire us?
Yeah, we just got rid of our president.
Throwing out your prime minister is the reason.
I don't know. I mean, people there seem unhappy to me.
Can I say something?
Canada, with one of the world's largest per capita GDPs, a top 10 overall GDP, inflation that has stayed in their target range outside of COVID like forever, fast COVID recovery, I mean, not perfect, but hardly in any need of being bought by a country with a severe housing crisis, income inequality, and lack of a national healthcare system when they have one. But the point being made at the beginning here is what really deserves the focus. We're in no way acquiring these lands peacefully, right? The negotiations, the acquisition, none of these things are happening peacefully, suggesting that we should even buy them publicly. I mean, it's hardly a joke, even if you're like having like funny undertones on it. I mean, it could easily be seen as an act of aggression. What if these countries took that and then like up their military presence and broke off trade negotiations with us? Like, we rely on Canada for a lot. Like, what if they did this? It would be detrimental effects, all because of like, haha, funny. But then it's also like, why is imperialism funny to you? Do you not even actually care about it? Like, as long as it's red that's doing it, it's funny, right? And how we would be doing this again, we would invade these countries, take their resources, and then conquer it as a nation, which is definitionally imperialism, something MAGA pretends that they're against when Biden is helping NATO push back Russia. I wonder why MAGA is so defensive of Russia. But then all of a sudden they're for it when it's Trump talking about taking over sovereign countries, because I mean, imperialism's so funny.
I don't understand why anybody's mad at Trump about this. If Trump, I'm serious, if Trump wants for Canada to become the 51st country, that would be a huge blue state.
Yeah.
A huge blue state. I would be
retracting my
so happy. Exactly.
Like, do not need two more
I don't think that Trump has thought this through. First of all, it would be wonderful to have a massive blue state. They have an amazing healthcare system. It would be wonderful for us to listen. If Canada wants to come here and rescue us, I am more than happy to welcome them.
They would make Canada like DC taxation without any representation. So they would figure out a way to rig it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being frank, almost any country we could theoretically add to the U.S. would just be adding another blue state. And the only countries who would link up to conservatives are like clearly the global villains, like Germany with their far-right party, for instance. This is the whole reason conservatives refuse to allow Puerto Rico to be a state, right? For instance, because they know Puerto Rico would be such a deeply blue state that they don't want to give that to Democrats. So it's like, well, let's just continue doing imperialism and settler mentalities against these people. But again, conservatives, not imperialists. That's Democrats, of course. Canada would be a massive blue state. We would get plenty of new Congress members for the Democratic Party, a fat new amount of electoral votes that we could just throw in our back pocket, and a quality healthcare system that would only further show for the need of a socialized structure here in America. Which means that Trump will definitely cower away from actually pulling the trigger. There's no way he's doing that.
What are we doing? What, like, am I in a simulation? Like, what is happening? Okay? Like, what is happening, Abby?
One of the big questions.
We have Alaska. We have I mean, we're already basically around them. I mean, and we get Greenland.
One of the questions, though, it's a serious question, honestly, with Trump. Okay, at this point, I mean, is it really smart to just be like, he's just joking?
I know that's what I'm like. It's like you think it's a joke, and then but it's Trump. You know what I mean? So like, I don't want to just like take things he's saying as a whim or.
And there's a lot of people around him who are whispering in his ear, Mr. President, you know.
And to your earlier point, Essay, was like, I just am not sure that's what people went to the ballot box for on November 5th. And
we really owe it to Trump here. I'm not going to lie, because he's setting up the Democratic Party for such a better 2026 and 2028 than we ever could have done ourselves. Voters picked Trump to lower grocery prices, thinking like we're going against the establishment that largely has failed us, because wages stagnant, prices going up, all of this, and, maybe to limit immigration. Before Trump even takes office now, he admits he can't lower grocery prices, has appointed 13 establishment billionaires, and is more focused on investigating Liz Cheney and joking about imperialism than on domestic issues. And then he's reversed course on H-1B visas, which allow immigrants to be used as slave labor to undercut U.S. wages. Like, who would have thought Trump would flounder this hilariously bad with the core issues of his own base? And again, these are like the voters voting on these things will change every election. Like, these are the voters who voted Trump in the lower grocery prices voted Biden for the same reason in 2020, right? He has 180'd his position on anything that he stood for at one point. And I mean, we'll see who still supports this administration after, because it's clear they're ideologically captured, because no matter what they 180 on, they're just going to support Trump because it's Trump. It means they just want to be MAGA. So their personality will change to meet MAGA. And I'm no longer having a serious conversation with any conservative whose whole thing is like that. Like, if you were anti-establishment, but now you're cheering on Elon Musk and 13 cabinet billionaires as a good thing, I'm sorry, you showed your hand, you're a clown, and I'm never having a serious conversation with you again.